When I started this channel, I had two goals in mind. I wanted to bring you, the real estate consumer, updates on a more than monthly basis. Being left in the dark until TRREB releases their market watch is really no way to navigate a market that is changing on a week to week basis. The second thing that I wanted to do was cut through the headlines. Things can be twisted, data can be aggregated, and one story can be told, while on the micro market level, things look a little differently. And in today's video, that's exactly what I'm going to do. This is my kind of 3/4 of the way through April update for you. We're gonna look at a few numbers from what is happening with sales to prices and the average days on market for a listing at this point in time compared to last April. And this is the chart that I want to start it all off with. It's our kind of GTA master overview. It's a percent change of 2026's April compared to 2025. Freeholds are in blue, condos are in orange. Right now, sales are actually up 1.2% on the freehold side and up 7.8% on the condo side. Median prices, on the other hand, are down 4.8% on the freehold side and 11% on the condo side. Sales to new listings ratio has bumped up a little bit on the freehold and the condo side at 1.2% and 6.8% respectively, meaning edging slightly more towards seller's favor. And then days on market kind of tells the opposite story. It's taking longer for properties to sell. The median days on market for freeholds right now is 10.2% increase and 15.9% on the condo side. So with that right there is an update for you. That's what's happening in April, but it doesn't give that deep dive into the numbers. And through these next few charts and the rest of the video is what we're going to break down today. First off, let's look at the freehold market in Toronto proper. You can see that through 3 weeks of April, we're actually lagging on the freehold side. So while the entire GTA is up through 3 weeks, Toronto itself on the freehold side is down 16 sales from where we were at last year. So relatively flat, but again, remember 2025 historically slow, 2026 even slower on the Toronto freehold side. When you break Toronto freehold down into smaller segments, though, the story continues to evolve. Toronto Central is actually seeing a bit of a bump up in sales activity this year relative to last, whereas Toronto East is our kind of biggest faller year over year, down 21 sales, and Toronto West is down 4 sales at this time. Moving our way through the GTA, and you can see that in Durham Region, the slowdown is actually even more pronounced than we saw in the Toronto freehold market. So first off, Durham starting at a lower base, so this percentage decrease would be even larger in Durham Region. So 60 sales down. And out of our 8 markets, only Pickering is seeing a slight uptick in sales right now. They're outperforming last year by 6 sales. And out in Oshawa, we are 32 sales shy of where we were at last year at this point in time. Ajax down 16, Whitby down 3, Clarington down 3, Scugog down 2, Uxbridge down 3, and Brock down 7. So the first 2 markets that we've taken a dive into actually buck the trend of the entire GTA as a whole. If you look at just the GTA numbers, you might think that things are picking up right across the board. This highlights that, in fact, they're not. York Region is the first market we're going to take a look at where sales have actually picked up on a year-over-year basis. So there's been no change in Aurora. East Gwillimbury is up 6 sales. Georgina, our biggest faller, is down 11 sales. King is up 6. Markham up 11. Newmarket up 10. Richmond Hill down 5. Vaughan up 1. And Stouffville down 2. So again, York really bucks the trend of the entire GTA, but even within York, each market is performing differently on the freehold side. Peel Region is a great illustration of this, up 40 sales year over year. You may think that things are kind of humming along right across the board. Then you look at Brampton's numbers, down 21 sales year over year through the first 3 weeks of April at least. Caledon up 19 and Mississauga up 42 on the freehold side. Halton Region as a region was our biggest gainer in year-over-year sales. On the freehold side, up 50 in total. When you break that down, Burlington makes up 15 of those. Halton Hills, even in spite of the entire region being up relatively significantly, is down 5 sales. Milton, about flat, up 1 sale from last year. And Oakville, our biggest gainer, up 39 sales year over year. Back to this one really quickly, just to remind you that condo sales are up 7.8% year over year. But when you break it down, you can see that all of this is really just coming from Toronto, and within Toronto, it's all coming from that central region of Toronto. You know, CO1 and CO8 are the 2 TRREB districts that have the most condo transactions happening, and they really pull the condo stats. Whatever's happening in those 2 areas of the entire GTA really dictates the stats right across the board up 91 sales through the first 3 weeks of April. The East End up 5, the West End up 4, Durham Region up 15, York up 1, Peel down 26, and Halton up 4. So even just from this sales story, you can see that the GTA story is not reflective of the regional story, and the regional story is not reflective of what is happening down at the local municipal level. Now, I always say that looking at sales in isolation is a bit of a fool's play. Like, who knows how many listings are coming to market, what active inventory looks like. I always feel like looking at sales to new listings or months of inventory is a better metric. For this exercise, we are going to look at sales to new listings. And you can see that it increased across the board, 1.2% on the freehold side and 6.8% on the condo side. We're just going to look at freehold properties for this portion and rank the municipalities by sales to new listings ratio. So again, the higher this number is, the more favorable the market is to sellers at this current point in time. Between 40 and 60% is that balanced market. Over 60 is seller's market territory, and below 40 is buyer's market territory. So of these 27 municipalities reporting, you can see that 5 of them are up in balanced territory. That's Burlington at 49.1%, Toronto West at 42.6%, Ajax at 41%, Toronto East at 40.9%, and 40.5% out here in Whitby, where I am. I'll take that as a little segue to remind you that if you are looking for real estate assistance out here in Durham Region, anywhere in the GTA, all of my contact info is down in the description of this video. There's a link where you can book a call directly with me. And let me know right now, how are these numbers that I've gone through so far lining up to what you are seeing more locally, wherever you are watching from? After Whitby, we are back down into buyer's territory across the board. Again, with a bit of a caveat, even at the municipal level, some neighborhoods perform better than others, and these numbers can be skewed more and more you dig down into them. But as a rule of thumb, Pickering, Oshawa, Milton, Mississauga, and below are all at 38.7% or below. Brock being the slowest market by this metric, down at 12.1%, firmly in buyer's market territory out there. The biggest number that people are always interested in is what is happening with prices. And again, even from this general GTA overview, the picture can be a little misleading when you get down to that regional level. Freehold properties down 4.8%, condo properties down 11%. The city of Toronto as a whole actually lines up very nicely to that GTA median price change, down 4.8% this year from last through the first 3 weeks of April. Toronto Central, however, is outperforming that number. They're actually up slightly at 2.4%, whereas the East End has seen prices come down through the first 3 weeks by 12.6%, the West End down 1.6%. In Durham Region as a whole, we're down 2.9% year over year, with Ajax and Brock actually seeing prices increase slightly year over year. We have double-digit losses in 3 markets, though. Pickering down 10.1%, Oshawa down 13.2%, and Scugog down 19.3%. And then you have Whitby at 1.5% down, Clarington at 8.6% down, and Uxbridge at 2.1% down to wrap up Durham Region. North of the city in York, we've seen prices come down on the whole by 9.3% year over year. Our biggest loser up there is Aurora. The joke that I always make is that, again, coming from Newmarket originally, Aurora is really just an afterthought of the region. Newmarket is where it's at. Just kidding. Sorry to all my Aurora viewers on this video. We have Stouffville also down close to that 20% mark at 19.6%. Then East Gwillimbury down 8.1%. Georgina down 1.8%. King down 2.2%. Markham down 11.5%. Newmarket down 6.5%. Richmond Hill down 4.3%. And Vaughan down 13.8%. That year-over-year median price change for freehold properties. Heading west now to Peel Region, down 7.3% in total. Brampton down 8.1%, that median sale price. Caledon, our biggest year-over-year loser, down 22.2%. Quick caveat with Caledon, very few transactions, very easy to skew this median sale price. Same as some of the other smaller markets in the previous slides in previous regions as well. Then Mississauga wrapping things up, holding relatively steady, just down 2.4% year over year. Now, Halton is a really interesting one because on the whole, prices are actually up 0.1% for that median sale price. But what this tells me is that the median price has probably just shifted from one market to another. Maybe the median used to be in Oakville, where it was the most expensive market, so it was lower end Oakville property, but now maybe it's out in Milton or Halton Hills, because as you can see, right across the board, the median price point is down in double digits for 3 of these markets, down only 3.1% in Oakville, but down 10.5% in Burlington, 15.3% in Halton Hills, and 10% in Milton. To wrap it up, and because we have pretty low sales volume for these median prices, I've just done Toronto broken down by the areas and then lumped the other regions all in together. So Toronto proper is down 9.7% median price. The central market is down 10%. East End is down 10.8%, and the West End down 11.7%. When you get out into the 905 in the suburbs, Durham Region down 11.5%, York Region down 14.9%, Peel down 13.0%, and Halton down 12.1%. Now we've gone through sales, median prices, and the sales to new listings ratio. The last thing to cover is those days on market. I'm not going to show you each municipality's change from last year to this. I'm just going to show you where they rank in terms of kind of the fastest moving markets right now. Quick note on this chart is that Uxbridge has been excluded because the 62 median days on market was really throwing off the scale of the rest of the graph. So that is just noted up here, removed from this chart. But here you can see the kind of fastest moving markets are the West End and the East End of the city. Then you up to Stouffville where it's 11 days, Whitby at 11 days, and Clarington at 12 days, meaning these are your kind of 5 markets that are moving the fastest. The caveat here is this is listing days on market. We could see some termination relists that are artificially suppressing this number a little bit, but this just gives you a pretty true idea as to how fast each market is moving, kind of where the most appetite or competition is in the GTA right now through 3 weeks of April 2026. King taking the most time. There's lots of luxury and estate lots out there that take much longer to sell. Whereas, the places people want to be in the city, the West End and the East End moving the fastest. And then you get into maybe a bit more of the affordability play, which is why markets like Whitby, Clarington, Brock are moving a little faster than you're seeing elsewhere in the GTA. So there's a lot of charts and information that we did just go through. I understand if you have any questions, like I said, everything is down in the description of this video, all my info. Book a call directly with me to see how things are shaking out in your market specifically, and use this video as just a bit of a primer, a bit of a warning as to what is really happening in the market right now versus what the headlines may say when TRREB releases their Market Watch report in just a couple weeks' time. I really appreciate you sticking with me right through to the end of this video. Until we do speak again next time, please stay safe and cheers. Thanks for watching this video right through to the end. If you enjoyed it and got some value out of the content, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel so I can reach more people just like you. If you want to see some of the other work I've done in previous weeks, there's a video on screen for you right now.